In today's video, we will listen to an extensive everyday conversation between Sarah and Mark about the hidden science of body language. Good morning, Mark. I am so happy to see you again. Please come in and sit down. How have you been since our last lesson?
Good morning, Sarah. I have been very well, thank you. Actually, I have been really excited to talk to you today. I spent the whole weekend reading a new book about psychology and communication.
That sounds wonderful. You know, I love talking about those topics. What was the main subject of the book?
It was all about nonverbal communication. It is amazing. The book said that our bodies are always speaking, even when our mouths are closed. It is like a secret language.
That is a perfect description. We often call it NVC for short. It is indeed the oldest language humans have. Before we had words, we had gestures and looks.
Exactly. The book made it sound like a code. It said if I learn the code, I can read people's minds. For example, if someone crosses their arms, it means they are angry or closed off. Is that true?
That is a very popular idea, Mark. We see it in movies and magazines all the time. They sell the idea that body language is like a dictionary. They want you to believe that one movement equals one specific word.
Yes, exactly, like a translation. Arm cross means no. Smile means yes.
I have to stop you there, though. The reality is much more complicated. NVC does not have a fixed grammar or a dictionary like English or Vietnamese.
Really? But I see people cross their arms when they are mad all the time.
That is true, they do. But let's imagine a different situation. Imagine you are standing in a room and the air conditioner is very strong. It's freezing cold. What do you do with your arms?
Oh, I see. If I am cold, I cross my arms to keep warm. I hug myself.
Exactly. Or imagine you've been standing for 2 hours and your back hurts. Crossing your arms might just be comfortable. It might be a way to rest.
So the movement is the same, but the meaning is different.
Precisely. This is the most important rule. Context is everything. You cannot look at just one signal. You have to look at the environment, the person's mood, and what is happening around them.
That makes it much harder to learn. I thought there was a simple list of rules.
It is harder, but it's also more interesting. Actually, Mark, there is a big problem in the world of psychology right now. We need to talk about it before we learn any tricks.
A problem? What kind of problem?
It's called the replication crisis.
That sounds serious. What does replication mean in this situation?
Well, in science, if I do an experiment and find a result, you should be able to do the exact same experiment and find the same result. That is called replicating the study. It proves the fact is true.
Okay, I understand. So, did other scientists try to do the old experiments again?
Yes, they did. A few years ago, there was a huge project. Scientists tried to replicate many famous studies in social psychology. These were studies that everyone believed were true for decades.
And what happened? Did they work?
The results were shocking. In social psychology, only about 25% of the studies worked the second time.
Only 25%? That is 1 out of 4. That means most of the things we thought we knew might be wrong.
Sadly, yes. It was a big wake-up call. For example, have you ever heard of willpower being like a battery?
Yes, I tell myself that all the time.
If I work hard all morning, I say my willpower battery is empty, so I eat a chocolate bar in the afternoon.
We all do that. The theory was called ego depletion. It said willpower is a limited resource. If you use it to resist a cookie now, you won't have enough left to do a math problem later.
It feels true. I definitely feel tired after using willpower.
So, if the science is shaky, how can we talk about body language? Is it all fake?
Not all of it, but we have to be very careful. We have to separate the real science from the pop psychology that just wants to sell books. We need to look at what actually survives the testing.
Okay, Sarah, I am ready. Tell me about facial expressions. Surely a smile is the same everywhere in the world.
That is the classic theory. A scientist named Paul Ekman said there are universal emotions. He said that anger, fear, sadness, disgust, happiness, and surprise look the same in New York, London, and the jungles of New Guinea.
That makes sense. We're all humans. We all have the same face muscles.
It seems logical, but recently this idea has been challenged too. The new theory is called the behavioral ecology view.
That is a big name. What does it mean?
It means we should stop thinking of the face as a window to the soul. Instead, think of the face as a tool, a traffic sign.
A traffic sign?
Yes, the old view says, I smile because I feel happy inside. The new view says, I smile so you don't fight me.
Oh, I see. It's about what I want to happen next. It's about the interaction.
Exactly. Let me tell you a fascinating story about the Trobriand Islands in Papua New Guinea.
Ooh, I love stories about remote places. What happened there?
Anthropologists showed the people there a photo of a fear face. You know, wide eyes, open mouth, looking terrified.
Like the face people make in horror movies?
Yes. In the West, we say that face means, I am scared. But the people in the Trobriand Islands did not see fear. They looked at that face and said, that person is angry. They're about to attack me.
Wow, that is the opposite of fear. Why did they think that?
Because in their culture, if you are about to fight or threaten someone, you make a intense, wide-eyed face to scare them. So the face is a tool. It signals a threat, not an internal feeling of being scared.
That completely changes how I look at faces. So my face is sending a message to control the situation?
Yes. Think about when you are walking down the street and you accidentally bump into someone. You usually give a quick, small smile. Are you truly happy?
No, I am usually embarrassed or annoyed.
Exactly. But you smile to say, I am not a threat. I am sorry. Please do not yell at me. You are using your face to manage the social situation.
This is so interesting. It makes me think about lying. In movies, police always watch the suspect's face to see if they are lying. Is that real?
This is another huge myth. We call it the myth of micro-expressions.
I have heard of those tiny, fast movements that show the truth, like a twitch of the eye.
The TV shows love this idea because it is dramatic. But in real life, research shows these micro-expressions are incredibly rare. They hardly ever happen.
So if I stare at my friend to catch a lie, I am wasting my time.
Pretty much. And there is a bigger danger. Imagine an honest person who is very nervous. Maybe they are shy, or they are afraid you won't believe them. What do?
Well, they might look down. They might clear their throat.
Maybe touch their nose or fidget in their chair?
Exactly. And what does a liar do?
They probably do the same things because they are nervous about being caught.
Bingo. The signals for anxiety and the signals for lying look exactly the same.
So if I accuse someone of lying just because they touched their nose, I could be blaming an innocent person.
Yes, and that is very dangerous. Studies show that people who take lie detection classes actually get worse at spotting lies
Worse. Why?
because they become overconfident. They think they see a signal, but really, they're just seeing stress. It is better to just listen to the facts and check the story rather than staring at their eyelids.
That is good advice. I will stop trying to be a detective with my friends.
Good idea. Now let's talk about something that actually does work. It is about posture. How do you stand?
Oh, I read about power posing. The Wonder Woman pose. Hands on hips, chest out.
Yes, that became very famous a few years ago. The original study said it changed your hormones, more testosterone, less stress hormone.
Did that survive the replication crisis?
No, the hormone part did not replicate. Standing like a superhero does not change your blood chemistry.
Oh, that is disappointing. I liked that idea.
But wait, do not give up on it yet. While the chemistry didn't change, the psychology did.
What do you mean?
People who stood in big, open postures reported feeling more powerful. They felt more confident. And more importantly, it changed their behavior.
How did it change their behavior?
There was a really clever study about approach and avoidance. They asked people to sit in either a high power pose, open, big, or a low power pose, crossed legs, hunched over, small.
I often sit in the low power way when I am tired. I curl up.
Right. After sitting like that for a few minutes, they showed the people a room. In the room, there was an angry-looking person.
An angry person? I would want to stay away from them.
Exactly. But the people who had been sitting in the low power pose wanted to stay away much more. They chose a chair far away from the angry person. They wanted to avoid the threat.
And the people in the high power pose?
They felt more able to handle it. They didn't necessarily run toward the fight, but they weren't as afraid.
So sitting in a small ball makes me feel small and scared?
Yes, it signals to your brain, I am weak right now. I should hide.
So before I go into a job interview, I should not sit in the waiting room looking at my phone with my head down.
Exactly. That is a low power pose. Instead, stand up, walk around, stretch your arms. Tell your brain, I am big, I am here.
That is very practical advice. I can use that tomorrow.
Now, let's move to the most colorful part of body language, culture.
I love learning about culture. I know that traveling can be tricky if you don't know the rules.
It can be a disaster. Let's start with hands. How do you count to 3?
Easy. Index finger, middle finger, ring finger. 1, 2, 3.
Standard for the UK or US, but if you go to Germany or France, they start with the thumb.
The thumb?
Yes, thumb is 1, index is 2, middle is 3.
So if I hold up my index finger and middle finger in Germany,
They might think you mean 2, not 2 and 3. It's confusing, but it gets worse. Think about the thumbs up sign.
that means good or okay. Everyone knows that.
In the West, yes, but in parts of the Middle East, West Africa, and even parts of Greece, it is a very rude insult.
Rude? Like a bad word?
Yes, it is a very offensive sexual gesture. Imagine smiling at someone and giving them a terrible insult with your hand.
That is a nightmare. I have to be so careful. What about the OK sign? The circle with the fingers?
Same problem. In the US, it is fine. In Brazil, Turkey, and Venezuela, it is vulgar. In France, it can mean zero or worthless.
You are a zero. That is not nice either.
No, it is not. You really have to learn the local vocabulary of gestures before you travel.
What about personal space? I notice that some of my friends stand very close to me when we talk, and others stand far away.
We call that proxemics. It is the study of distance. We divide the world into contact cultures and non-contact cultures.
Can you give me examples?
Sure, contact cultures include South America, the Middle East, and Southern Europe, like Italy or Spain. In these places, it is normal to stand close, touch the other person's arm, and speak loudly.
They're very warm and expressive.
Yes. Now compare that to non-contact cultures. Northern Europe, like Sweden or Germany, North America, and parts of Asia, like Japan. Here, people value their bubble. They want space.
I can see how that causes problems.
There is a famous story about a Swedish restaurant. A group of Americans came in for dinner. Now, Americans are from a culture that is louder and uses more space than Sweden.
So they were talking normally for Americans.
Yes, but the Swedish customers got very upset. They thought the Americans were fighting. They thought they were being aggressive and rude because they were shouting and waving their arms.
But they were just having fun.
Exactly. It was a mismatch of cultures. The Americans didn't know they were breaking the rules.
I guess the same applies to touching.
Yes. Haptics is the study of touch. Let's look at the handshake. In the US, you shake hands when you meet someone new, or maybe when you close a business deal.
Right. We don't shake hands every day with the same people.
But in France, it is common to shake hands with your colleagues every single morning when you arrive at work.
Every morning? That takes a lot of time.
Some researchers say French workers spend up to 30 minutes a day just shaking hands. And the style is different too.
How so?
Germans usually give one firm pump. Down, up, stop. It is efficient. Americans might pump the hand 5 or 7 times.
So the German thinks the American is crazy, and the American thinks the German is cold.
Precisely. And in Italy, touch is used to control the conversation.
What do you mean, control?
Italians often speak while gesturing with their hands. If you want to interrupt, you have to raise your hands too, but the speaker might grab your arm gently to stop you.
Your arm?
Yes, it is a signal. It means, wait, I am not finished yet. It is not aggressive. It is just how they manage the flow of words.
That is fascinating. If someone grabbed my arm in a meeting here, I would be shocked.
That is the beauty of cultural diversity. What is polite in one place is rude in another.
Sarah, we have talked about culture. Is there a difference between men and women, too?
Ah, the gender question. Yes, sociologists talk about speech communities. The idea is that boys and girls are often socialized differently growing up.
How are they different?
Generally speaking, and this is a generalization, girls are taught that communication is for building relationships. We call it rapport talk.
Rapport. That means connection?
Yes, the goal is to show empathy, to share secrets, to say, I am like you.
And boys?
Boys are often taught that communication is for achieving goals or showing status. We call it rapport talk. It is about giving facts, solving problems, or winning an argument.
This explains a lot. I have this problem with my wife sometimes.
Tell me about it.
Well, she'll come home and tell me about a problem at her work. She feels bad about it.
And what do you do?
I listen for 2 minutes, and then I tell her how to fix it. I give her a solution. I say, you should do A, B, and C.
And does she thank you?
No, she gets annoyed. She says, you are not listening to me. But I was listening. That's why I solved the problem.
That is the classic clash of speech communities. You are using instrumental talk. You want to fix the tool. She is using relational talk. She wants you to understand her feelings.
So she doesn't want a solution.
Not yet. First, she wants validation. She wants you to say, that sounds really hard, or I'm sorry that happened. She wants to strengthen the bond between you.
I see. I'm skipping the connection part and going straight to the fixing part.
Exactly. And this also explains mansplaining.
Oh, I've heard that word. What does it actually mean?
It is when a man explains something to a woman that she already knows, usually in a condescending way.
Why does that happen?
From the male report talk perspective, explaining things is a way to show high status. It shows you're smart and have information.
So the man thinks he's being helpful or impressive?
Yes, but the woman views conversation as a partnership. So when he lectures her, she feels like he is treating her like a child or an inferior. It breaks the rapport.
It all comes down to the purpose of the talk. Is it for connection or is it for status?
Correct. If we understand this, we can be much more patient with each other.
This has been such a deep dive, Sarah. We covered science, myths, culture, and gender.
We certainly did. But before we finish, I have one question for you about the future.
The future? Like robots?
Sort of. We are spending more and more time in digital worlds. Virtual reality, the metaverse, video games.
That is true. My nephew plays games where he has an avatar, a digital character.
Right. Now, think about nonverbal communication in a video game. If your nephew's avatar smiles or waves or gets angry, is that real body language?
No. It is a computer program. He presses a button and the character smiles.
Exactly. It is synthesized behavior. It is fake.
So we cannot trust it.
We definitely cannot use our intuition. In the real world, if someone smiles, we feel a connection. In the digital world, that smile is just code. It might be a lie. It might be a trap.
So in the future, as we use more VR, we will need to stop relying on body language.
We will need to rely more on evidence, truth, and verified facts. We cannot just say, he looked honest, because in the metaverse, anyone can look honest if they have the right software.
That is a little bit scary.
It is a challenge, but humans are adaptable. We will learn new ways to communicate.
Sarah, this conversation has changed how I see everything. I am going to walk out of here with my head up using a high power pose.
That is the spirit. And remember, when you shake hands, think about where you are.
I will. Thank you so much, Sarah. This was the best lesson yet.
You are very welcome, Mark. I will see you next week. Take care.
Goodbye.
Great work today. Keep going. Every lesson helps you improve your English. I'm excited to see you in the next video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more fun lessons. Keep learning and see you again soon.